Oh, hi guys. Yesterday I did as much in here as I could, but I know this really doesn't show it very well. That is about 4 foot of drop right there, down to that ditch bottom. And I can't get down in here with skid steer. Period. It ain't happening. You can do a lot with a skid steer if you can get to it. But when you get, from where I'm standing down to there and you're 4 foot difference on a bank, you gotta have nerves of steel. My nerves of steel are fading away, you might say. This is bad enough. And it's kind of like there's nothing I can do with stuff they whack off. You can't do it. And kind of as you tell, we've gone 80, 100 feet, and this ditch has come up 2 foot. So, yeah. It's elm. You can't push an elm out, especially when it's come out of the bank like that. There's no way. Elm trees are one of those trees you just can't get out. Not with a skid steer. You gotta dig them out. And elms that size, you can't get them out. Not with that skid steer. They just got a root system that just don't quit. And like I say, now we're down to (18 inches) 2 foot below the field surface. Because where I'm at, the high spot right here on the corner. But we have a nice respectable wad of briars and I don't know, honeysuckle and automala, whatever this stuff's called. I don't know what it is. It's invasive. And the little berry things. Lots of multiflora rose bushes in there. I'll take great joy in lighting this off. It won't be today. Too windy. It was too windy yesterday. But I pushed through everything this week and got all this ground broke up and worked up pretty good. Considering this was 3-4 foot tall ragweed and grass and you name it, I think it broke up pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty decent. And kind of get an idea. Never really breaks up exactly how you figure it will. What the heck is this? Well, somebody had McDonald's, threw their garbage out, and paw prints. Lovely. just lovely. There's the bag. Telling you. Yeah. A lot of that broke up like that right there. It's just root ball. But got ditches cut. Like so. So water has a place to go. And there's another one straight back there. There's one straight back, and there's one across. So the water can get out of here. I know this side waterway right here is has about a foot of fill in it over the years or more. And it needs to be literally recut. Just along like the road ditch needs to be cleaned out, and there actually needs to be a ditch put right here all the way up to the house, because there's never been one there before. Good and plenty's. Yeah, there's never actually been a ditch here. Ever. Just a little swag there. I might just for the giggles see if that stuff will burn. So I might have some fun this afternoon. But like I say, that all needs cleaned out. So guys, I'm going to call it here. So we'll see you next time. And as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. That's one of them ash trees that came back to life after the emerald ash borer killed it. I need to cut it down. Really need to take it completely out. We'll see you next time, guys. Well, this don't look like I've been working on rims. Well, in my digging around, I found a tire put on here. Many of you will recognize that as off a John Deere 494 planter or sprayer, John Deere, many things. Had it apart. I had to fix the wing, which was, the pin came out, so I put a bolt in it, which was fun. And about got the crap scared out of me. This was standing here, and I guess no. Thought we had a break because it looked like crack right here. It's not, just dust and dirt. Oh! Well, while I had this apart, the head was a little bit loose, so I thought, you know, if I ever put grease in these hubs. So I took it apart. Glad I took it apart. It was almost dry. Same with this one. They were both a little bit loose. They got repacked and tightened back up. This one's a little stiffer, but that's okay. It won't take long It'll loosen up. I'm about to get tired. But the Harrow-Gatter's fixed now, and I'm going to need that for too long. And I guess as good a time as any. Good a place as any. Set you up here. And maybe we have a speakins. Well, maybe not. Get a little rampish. There we go. Okay. Yesterday, whoops. Better pick this up while I'm seeing it. Gonna need my wallet. Yesterday Craig came over and kind of looked over some things, him and his brother. And we're going to put some tile in, if at all possible here. Now, when I say tile, I don't mean we're going to go every 20 feet with tile for the field. That's not the point of what we're doing. Okay? Mom and Dad, when they built the house in '70, should have done this, but they didn't. We're going to run a tile from where the sump pump dumps out into the field. Okay? And we're also going to run a line from where the downspout is now, on the far end of the house, in the back. We're going to tie that into it, so when it rains, the water runs off the roof, goes down the downspout, goes down the pipe to the side waterway. Okay? That's the whole purpose of doing that. Get the water away from the house. Now, there is about 150, well, about 200 feet from it, there is another run that always lays wet. It's the wettest place over there. And they're going to put a line from back behind the house all the way down the side waterway to get rid of some of that water. Ideally, you just put a ditch down through there, but when you create a ditch for water to go, you create more wet spots. So we're just going to bury a tile. They're going to work on the road ditch a little bit and the side waterway, taking it down 6 to 8 inches. I know it's filled in that much in the last 40 years, 40, 50 years. So it needs to be done. If time and weather permits, we're going to see about putting one down in the field on the far side, down by the property line. It stays wet there because there's a well about 10 feet from the property line. There's a 33-foot strip the neighbor bought before Mom and Dad bought this place, bought that place over there, so he could run water out to that ditch. There was an old house there that burnt down back in the 20s. 100 years ago. But the well's still there, and it's a hand-dug, rock-laid well. So if it's sitting full of water, that keeps that side of the field wet all the time. Okay? Put a tile down through there, it's going to get rid of that water problem. And that's what I want. it's not so much, I don't want to say this, more than anything, this is getting water, the two runs are to get water away from the house. That's the most important part. Getting the side waterway and kind of the road ditch cleaned up a little bit. That's it. It all works together. Okay. So I want to get those things done. And the piece of tile down by the far property line by that well, that's kind of self-explanatory. Get rid of that wet place. There's nothing, I can't do anything with the well whatsoever. Okay, it's not on my property, so I can't do anything. But I can put a piece of tile in. It'll be money well spent. Now, kind of take you over here and show you, maybe. We have devised a plan. Myself, back in the corner of this field, get over here out of the sunlight. Okay. Back in that far corner, lower end, is always wet. And I mean always wet. It's wet right now. It's wet enough that you stand on it, you can feel it kind of sponging underneath your foot. And Craig agrees there's probably a spring down there someplace. So, we're going to run, if the weather and time permits, we're going to run a tile from that tree line down to where the water goes out of the field, about 50 feet past that red top tree, and it'll go right down into the creek. There's plenty of fall, so it'll work perfectly. And that'll dry that whole lower side of that field up. And I know there's a bunch of you going to say, well, you said you didn't need tile, you blah, 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 blah. Okay. I don't need the entire field tiled. That would be pointless. But I'm losing probably an acre on the bottom of that field because it's always wet. You can't get in it. I couldn't go down there right now with a tractor and go through it and probably not spin in mud. Where the rest of this ground's dry as a popcorn fart. We didn't get, I don't think we got a drop of rain out of that hurricane mess. So we missed out on some rain. But at this point, the beans are done. They're turning. So it is what it is at this point. Them are still kind of green down there, but they're turning. No big deal. But we're supposed to have good weather this entire week. So if they start on it sometime this week, or for sure on the weekend, I will get video of what we're going to do. And the piece of tile that I'm talking about putting over there, we're only talking maybe 200 feet, if that much. From the side waterway of the house is 256 feet, what we figured, what we measured. So 200 feet puts you about I'm going to say 20 feet past this tree right here, this way. And if I put that much down that, I'm way down the side of that field. So but it's first, they're going to work on this side waterway, getting it cut back down some. Then they're going to clean up the road ditch, about 80 feet of it, 75, 80 feet, because it's never been done. Township has never touched it since we've lived here. They've cleaned the lower end, but not this upper end. So we're going to get that straightened up, get the side waterway recut, then they're going to put the lines in. Capital investment. It adds value to the farm, getting rid of those wet spots. Adds value, adds more crop, better yields. And being the way we're going to do this is going to be hired work, so it's a tax write-off. And being that's a smaller amount, when you get on a small farm, it's a smaller amount of money, say a couple $1,000, that's right, just write it off. But it's well worth that to give me peace of mind over there at the house, to get rid of water from around it and get a little more productivity out of the fields. Literally where it needs it. If I don't have a ditch running down from the house down through there, I'll get rid of a wet spot there. Because wherever you got a ditch, it's going to be wet. And it's always wet. So I'm going to get rid of those two. So it's going to make my life a lot simpler. Which means increased productivity. That's the name of the game. And as well as back there, even if it's a half an acre, it really won't, the time it'll take him to dig it, and I'm going to be helping backfill and doing some of the work, so it'll only take a few years to pay for itself as far as doing something good for the field. And getting rid of that wet spot will really do that. Half acre, hey, it adds up quick. Acre of beans, just say they always grow good down there, so 40 bushel beans at $10 a bushel, $400 a year or two, and it's paid for. It's paid for itself. So why not do it? So I have got a bunch of stuff to put up. Put the skid steer back in the barn. Move the truck. Move the Harrow-Gatter back around the tractor. I'm going to leave them hooked together because I'm going to need them. Yeah. It may sound silly to most people to do, to worry about something like this right now, but I got the time. It's the time to do it. And believe it or not, I used a tube of grease greasing all them hubs up. So it needed it. And if I ain't mistaken, there should be, yep, right there. There ain't but a couple of grease fittings on this thing, grease zerks. There's one there, and I thought there was a couple on the wheel, but on the left. Oh, yeah. I have to move this. Oh. No, there isn't. I thought there was. Well, I guess there's only one zerk on it. Well, guys, I'm going to call it. We'll see you next time. And as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. I've got a bunch done. A couple of brush piles moved, got rid of. They're all down there. Got one tire here where it's ready to go to get changed. On one of these other rims, I've got the Harrow-Gatter fixed, the wing fixed, tire fixed, hubs repacked, and it's ready to go. And we'll see you next time, guys. And as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Keep doing this. I might be able to get something done for a change. We'll see you next time. Well, the brush pile is twice as big as it was. I'll do a little clarification to make you understand here. Okay. There is no ditch that way. None whatsoever. Never has been. This is one of the things we're going to do. Pull this culvert out, and it's going to have to be replaced, unfortunately, because the township is real good at destroying it. But it needs to be about 10-12 inches lower than it is now. And if you look down through here, this is more in lines where it should be down here. But if you look that way, it goes uphill. This ditch, since we bought this place, has never been cleaned out. Never. Never been done. And if they come over to do something, they're going to bring a sidewinder on an arm and cut a ditch. That's not going to cut it. From here back, they're going to take her down a little bit. The dirt that comes out is going to go up there by the house. Oh, I forgot to do that. Yeah. Smart. This will get cut down probably 8-10 inches all the way to the back. May go lower here. I don't know yet. Lovely holes. Big crawdads. But this really needs to be done. It's needed done for years and years and years. If we can do it, we'll take this tree out. But I don't think we're going to be able to, because that's 2 foot. And that might be more than his machine can handle. But it being on a corner like this, it might be easier. I don't know. But if we can run the tile from there, from the ditch, back to about the tree I'm pointing at, that would be a humongous help for that side of the field. I know it sounds stupid, but there's a lot of water in the ground over there because of that well. This ground will hold water. But if you get it where the sun can hit it, as it is now, the weeds off of it, this is in good shape for next spring. It really is. If we can get a shower on it and mellows it out, Lets the stuff sprout, come up. I have no problem getting it sprayed this fall. And I could probably use it, to be truthful. It's kind of, there's only a couple spots that are low, like right here. It drains. I've got a drain out to the road and down there. But you're going uphill the whole way. You're going uphill the whole way to the back, and it's tapered down to the side waterway, just as it is over there. From the side waterway to the house, it's going uphill. So water will move. You just got to be able to have some place for it to go. And now it's time to do it. Solve a problem with a wet spot in 2 places in this field. Get rid of it. And life is a lot better. So that's what we're going to do. Those two, this waterway, and this road ditch some, and down there, and that's all this place needs. Other than get rid of some big trees. Across the road, just that lower end of the field over there. That's all it needs. And shed of these trees. They really, truthfully, there's no purpose for them being there. All they're doing is creating wet ground over here because the sun can't get to it, and it's taking a lot of nutrients and moisture from the crops across the road. You know, probably 50 feet out from the trees. Even though I plowed it, you can see the difference. You know, where that big one is, man, it was 100-foot half circle. There wasn't nothing hardly growed. It's just like this. So getting rid of these won't hurt my feelings. They're pin oaks. They're firewood. That's about all they're good for. So, kind of get rid of them. I'd be real happy then. Get rid of them all the way up to the corner of that big rock maple. Or curly maple, I should say. That's what it is. At any rate, guys, I thought I would show you this pile. And that's here to there. And a pile that was right up there by the house, by the corner of the field. I forgot I got to go up there and clean the rest of it up. Happens that way when you get old. You lose your mind. Forget what you were doing. Well, we'll see you next time, guys. And as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. We got a plan in place. Now, if the weather will hold, we're going to get her done. Like I said, this is something that has needed done for 40 years. 40, 50 years. It should have been done before now. But it's kind of getting mom and dad on board with the idea years ago it wasn't going to happen. But now it's kind of, they see what needs to be done finally. So tile, strip it down, regrade it, and it's going to be in good shape. So we'll see you next time, guys. And as always, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And hopefully we'll laying some tile before long. See you next time.